So welcome to another video. So yeah, I'm back in Lincolnshire after about 2 months in Thailand. So I've been back for a week now, and yeah, it's cold, so I have to toughen up now. Back to reality, back to the doom and gloom and the dystopian UK, and yeah, let's get shit on the road. So recently the national statistics got all their figures wrong, and they underplayed how many people have left the UK in 2024. So the real number is supposed to be 257,000 people have left the UK. So we're getting all these people who've got wealth. They might even be, they're probably a mixture actually. It's probably people with wealth, most of them probably middle class. There's some poorer people as well, because people don't care. They just like want to get out any way and any means they can. They want to get out. It's looking very bleak here. It's like, lucky enough, I'm not in the worst part of the country, so it's a bit more bearable, but still got the same government, still got the same NHS, still got the same GP surgeries and the same dentists wherever they're under delivering or no service at all. And this is not just unique to the UK. I mean, next door in Ireland, I think just under 70,000 people left in 2024. So there's many Irish emigrating to Australia. And why this has all taken place is people coming in legally and illegally. And a lot of employers are getting certain nationalities from certain countries, and people got to get this out of their head saying, oh, the British people won't do the jobs, and so saying every single country, they're saying the Americans won't do the jobs, so they get people from Latin America or elsewhere. And yeah, that's what they want you to think and say, but it's not entirely the truth, is it? Like where I was working, there was no people, not like no non-European people working, and then it just gradually grew more and more. There's more Indians working now, and I'm not against all Indians. I mean, some are lovely people, but the biggest issue I have is they don't assimilate and they don't integrate. They will not mix with the British people. You might get 1 or 2 marriages between white people and Indians, but it's very rare. They don't want to break their, they don't want to break their traditions and culture. But it's like, if you're going to another country, why don't you try and integrate? Like, you've got to mix with the people. Like, not just come in and just do what you did where you came from, because then you're not even there to help, are you? You're just there to get what you can get and then convert it to the place where you used to live. And yeah, this is not how it should be. It's like, you should be trying to blend in and try and mix with the locals, get involved in the culture, not just like ignore everything and shop in your own shops and don't bother to integrate and assimilate. But yeah, they've got so many people leaving their countries, and Canada also lost 100,000, I think it was 106,000 people in 2024. And a few years back, these countries like Canada and Australia had the best standards of living. Their cities were ranked among the best. You had like Vancouver, outstanding, Sydney, Melbourne, and other Canadian cities. It was like in the top 10. Like, they had a perfect, like no crime or low crime. They had good healthcare. And look at it now, they've just been wrecked, these countries, and some more so than others. Like say the UK is in a much worse state than Australia, but then Canada, I'm not sure if they're worse than the UK, but they are pretty bad. I think they're worse, in a worse state than what America is. And now I see on YouTube last night the fentanyl crisis, which is mostly, I'm not an expert in this, but I know Philadelphia has a major problem, is now in Birmingham, England's second biggest city. And it's not just fentanyl, there's black mamba and spice. And these people are just zombies. They're going to die in a few years' time. There's no hope for them unless people get involved and stop them doing it. But it's just gonna destroy themselves. And this is the thing in the West. Society is collapsing. The economy is collapsing. The standards are collapsing. You know, everything's getting worse. Oh yeah, in Australia, it was about, I think the figure was, when I had a look today, it was 240,000 have left Australia. And then I've not even looked into figures for European countries. I mean, they must be high as well, like especially France, where they got like just for taxes, and then a lot of people are leaving because you got people like Macron, a globalist, and treating people really bad, and it's all getting dystopian, and the EU's getting more controlling. But yeah, because when all these people empty out from the European countries and North America and Australia, New Zealand, it's like, who are you getting in return? You know, you're getting people who are not going to have the same wealth, so the state is going to have to spend even more money, and then what's going to happen? People are going to get taxed more. You're getting people leave, so the GDP is going to drop, because you've got business people, you've got highly skilled people leaving every Western country, and then who's coming in? You've got people coming in with low IQs, no wealth, and they're going to be recipients rather than contributors to the system. So they're going to drain the system even more, and then the system is going to be overstretched. Because, to be frank, the system is not your friend. It's not the illegal immigrant's friend. It's not the immigrant's friend. It's against everyone. But they use everybody against each other. And I'm not saying, like, oh, let's be best friends and I agree with everything, let everybody come in. No, I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, they are being used. Because they might be getting a special treatment now. It's like with Islam in the UK. It's getting a special treatment now, but it's not going to continue like that. All they're being used for is to basically de-Christianise the UK and the West, and then bring in people who are going to be easier to control, are going to have a lower IQ. Sorry, but it's true. I mean, you've seen some of these people, you know, they're marrying their cousins, so that is like mixing DNA together already. So that is a big issue, like mentally and IQ wise. And then, yeah, you're bringing people from countries where lack of education, lack of individuality. And then what's going to happen? They're going to use these people. Once they're done with these people, what are they going to do to them? Because when you look at things deeper and deeper, on a deeper level, you'll see like most of the evil is coming from like one group of people, one family, probably. You know, the cabal. You know, they're using the Muslims to overthrow Christianity in Europe. But then this Ashkenazi Khazarian cabal will come after them after. Because all they do is they just basically reset everything all the time. And then we have all these black swan events, so they crash the market, or they bloody basically bring the Twin Towers down so they can bring the Patriot Act in, and then they can make an excuse for war in the Middle East to help facilitate the Greater Israel project. And the UK government is continuing with the Islamification of the UK, because they're going to give 10 million to mosques now. It's like, it's not even like, it's like a small percentage of the country, it's not, and it's only that because they allow it to be that. They allow these people in, don't deport them when they've broken the law, entered illegally, and then they water down visas to let them in. It's like their passports are terrible. Like India, Pakistan, Nigeria and Somalia, they've got some of the worst passports in the world. It's like crazy that they can still get in here. And it's like, when you see asylum claims for certain countries, it's like, if a country's not at war, they shouldn't even be here. But they facilitate it, don't they? Because they want to get rid of the white population, the Christian population. They don't want thinkers, they don't want individuals, they want slaves. They want useful idiots, they want bootlickers. And what wound me up, when I landed in Heathrow, the border force were there on their counters, and I walked up and showed my passport. He said, "Where have you been?" I said, "I've been to Thailand." And then he asked me to stand in front of the camera, and I said, "I don't have to do this." I said, "I'm a national of this country." But he kept insisting, and then he called another guy over, and then they said they're going to call the manager, and then it was just going around in circles. In the end, because my taxi driver was waiting for me and I wanted to collect my bag, so I said, "Can I show my ID?" Because he said to me before, he said, "We could check your ID, and then if on the camera, and then if it comes through, we'll let you in." But it just wound me up. I said, "You've got to let me in, because I live here and I'm a citizen." And I said, "I shouldn't have to prove anything, I think." And they kept going about my passport could be a forgery, and I said, "Well, it's got a chip in the passport, it shows my photo, and I could even see it on his screen." And I pointing to it, saying, "It's my photo there, you can see." And I said to the guy, "Don't I sound British? Don't I sound like I'm from here?" And I felt like saying, "I'm more British than you," because all the border force, it was all Indian, like born here but Indian descent, ethnicity, let's say. But if I said that, they'd got the police involved, or it just caused more hassle for me. But it's like sometimes they do this stuff to antagonise you, and that's another thing. Going back to the Indians, they're very arrogant, and I've noticed, like, when they go to different countries, like I've seen them in Thailand, they act like it's their country and they own it. It's like the same here, and I've heard about it in Ireland, where they just walk around like it's their country. These people are supposed to be there to contribute, not take over. And that's what they get with the left. They're so self-destructive. Like, you can be like caring and have compassion for people, but you've got to have some intelligence as well. Like, you've got to know when, like, you need to change your attitude. You need to come to the realisation that what you're doing is you're supporting your downfall and your replacement. Because where do you think you're going to live later? How do you think you're going to afford to live somewhere if there's so many people in this country and you can't find a place to live? And then you want to get a job. How are you going to get a job when people are willing to work for less money than you, and work more hours than you, and then they might get preferential treatment because they're from a certain country, a certain background. Because I've had this before. When I said join an agency, they wouldn't give me any work. They'd give all the work to Polish people straight away, and you don't even get a chance. It's like, that's so wrong on so many, what do you call it? So many fronts. But yeah, it's just the thing. But is this what people want? But yeah, it's just getting so bad. It's like, do you stay and fight for this country? Is there any point? Because there's not enough people standing up. Too many people are still voting. There's still too many people keep arguing about reform and Labour. They're all bloody part of the same system. They're all screwing you. They're all there. It's an illusion, thinking you can fight your way out of anything. It's designed to suck up your energy and to keep you being fooled from knowing the truth, because they want to trick you into thinking red or blue, green or yellow, or purple, dark blue, light blue. You know, they're all Freemasons. They're all bloody, majority of them are anyway. It's like we have left wing and right wing, because it's the same effing bird. How many times? They're actors. They're pretending to you. You know, like, and people, wake the fuck up. If you was locked down, they was fucking you over. Why do you keep fucking protecting these people and keep arguing, saying these MPs are good people, and say, like, why would they do that?